It's Lance Graulich, your host. Ion Franchising, a solo episode.
Up next,
You know, one of the number one things that I hear on a regular basis is follow the system. Franchisors, and this is a bonus, by the way. So let's get going on the top 10 success tips. And you get to look in the mirror every morning and go, I'm really happy I did this. This episode sponsored by SEO Samba. Empower your franchise with predictable results and AI-driven marketing. After hosting 200 plus guests in the last 4.5 years on Ion Franchising, I'm going solo to give you a whole bunch of success tips. In fact, I'll narrow it down to the top 10 that I've received from amazing franchisors, founders, call it the corporate team, as well as super successful franchisees. Success does in fact leave clues, and we're going to uncover some of those right now. You know, one of the number one things that I hear on a regular basis is follow the system. Franchisors, and this is a bonus by the way, franchisors say it all the time. Follow the system. I can tell you that I've had so many franchisees that did not follow the system. And it's really interesting because I've had quite a few successful franchisees on say the exact same thing. So as obvious as it is, because some of you at home looking at your first business are thinking, but Lance, why would I join a franchise and not follow the system? I know. The reality is there are people that don't. Why do people get married and then never listen to each other either? It happens. So that's a bonus for you. So that's a bonus. Follow the system. That doesn't count in our top 10 today in no particular order. So let's get going on the top 10 success tips that you should follow to build your dream business. Number one, hire the right people. I know a lot of people are scared. They've never had employees before. Maybe you've worked in marketing. Maybe you've worked in management and managed a few employees, but they've never been on your payroll before. You've never had the responsibility of hiring somebody that was working on your payroll. But remember, nobody has ever built an empire by themselves. Although I do have a lot of clients, myself being a franchise broker, that say, you know, Lance, I really don't want employees. But then you have to do all of the work yourself. So trust me, hiring is a skill. It's like developing a muscle. You need to exercise it. So it's okay. Go out there, make some mistakes. Once you get past the mistakes, you start hiring amazing people. And one of my favorite hiring tips, I can tell you from experience, is you're looking for that core group, your main hub of employees that might stick around a really long time. You might turn over some other people that are sort of superfluous to the organization, almost a dime a dozen. I hope that's not the case. I hope you keep all of your employees. But the reality is there's turnover. Hire the right people. Success tip number one. Number two, know your numbers. If you're not looking at a P&L, if you're not looking at your bank account, if you're not looking at your expenses on a daily and certainly a weekly basis, taking a hard look, you're not doing things the right way. It's very difficult to gauge. You know, when I was a franchisee at Wingstop and at Krispy Kreme Donuts, we did weekly snapshot P&Ls. We looked at labor. We looked at labor costs. We've even compared, if I had a store doing $25,000 a week, I would look at other franchise owners doing $25,000 a week and we would compare labor hours. We wouldn't necessarily compare labor dollars because depending on California, Nevada, Kansas City, wherever market you're in for that matter, it's going to be different. You're going to pay people at different rates in different cities. So if you compare labor hours, if you're doing 25 grand a week, how many hours of labor did it take you to get the business done? Prep cooks and fry cooks and cashiers, supervisory, whatever it might be. Add up those labor hours and compare and contrast and learn from each other. So know your numbers, know your food cost. Very, very important. We did a chicken count at Wingstop. We wanted to know how many chicken wings did we burn them? Where did these chicken wings go? Did they walk outside? Did they fly outside the door? Probably not. So last I checked, the chicken comes in dead. They weren't flying, but employees might have walked off with them or ate them. So know your numbers. Number 3, stay in constant communication with the franchisor, also known as the mothership. It's very important. You're getting into this business because you want a playbook, you want a blueprint, and they have it. They either have what's called a franchise business consultant, FBC, or a success coach, some sort of mentor that will be assigned to you. Yeah, there's plenty of people that are doing onboarding when you first start at corporate, but you will have somebody that will be at your disposal on a regular basis that you're going to rely on for everything. You also will have your brothers and sisters in the franchise. This is like joining a big old mastermind. You're going to be able to talk to the franchisee that's doing $50 million a year and ask he or she how they got there and model that success. Number 4, never stop learning. Be a lifelong learner. There are going to be all kinds of webinars and ongoing education and training for the franchise. If you're in a food franchise, there might be a limited time offer coming out or a seasonal menu, whatever it might be. In the wellness space, you might be doing gift cards in the month of December. Pay very close attention. Great franchisors have great training, great follow-up, and great communication. Education is ongoing. Every great franchise brand has someone in charge of training, and they're going to be able to teach you on an ongoing basis. Remember, you're not doing this on your own. You have resources for everything. When it comes to learning and ongoing education, it's there. And if you're not even sure about something and you've exhausted all options, or so you thought, you have a great franchisee to rely on as well. The annual conference or regional conference, very, very important to attend any annual conferences. Meeting fellow franchisees, taking that opportunity to network is invaluable. I saw in a Facebook group the other day, there was a comment saying that someone got charged a fee for not attending their annual conference, and that's in the FDD, in their disclosure document. And I'm thinking to myself, why the heck wouldn't you attend the conference? I don't know a great franchisee that missed conferences. If you're all in, you want to learn as much as possible, your network is your net worth. So never stop learning. Always participate in everything that you can, but it's very, very important that you're paying attention. Number 5, think like an owner. You're not an employee anymore. I don't care whether you worked at a Fortune 500 or Fortune 100 company, whatever it might be. You are no longer an employee. You're an owner. What that means is you might have a mindset shift. A lot of new franchise owners or business owners in general don't want to spend money. Well, this is why you get organized and you have a budget and you have a business plan and there's a certain amount of money you're going to commit. You're going to take the emotion out of it in advance and you're going to commit to spending a certain amount of money every month on marketing until you achieve your initial goal in revenue. I had a brand new franchisee that I connected with an amazing brand called Top Rail Fence. And this gentleman called me recently in month 3 and said, Lance, thank you so much. He's only 29 years old. He did over $100,000 in month 3 with Top Rail Fence. Month 4 ended recently. He calls me again, another $100,000, $104,000 in month 4. Thanks again. This is great. This is fabulous. It's because he set his goal and he's blowing away his goal. Now, the top franchisee in that brand these days is over $500,000 a month in revenue. Imagine $500,000 a month in revenue on a brand that you can start for roughly $200,000. But the point I'm trying to make is you have all the support that you need in this brand and you have to follow the plan. Part of following the plan is thinking and acting like an owner. Spend money on marketing, on great employees. I know people that don't even hire. They're like, oh, it's too expensive to hire. I just lost 2 people. It's more expensive to practice on the customers when the customers are expecting a high level of service. Maybe you've set the high bar. Well, you have to constantly deliver that on a regular basis. So very important to think like an owner, no longer like an employee. Number 6, take massive action early. Remember, when you open a business, you have a plan. We were just talking about that. But in order to aggressively implement that plan, you have to do things fast. You have to hire great employees, train them, and bring them up to speed. Lance, what's the reason you're talking about doing all this fast? You're burning cash. You have to get to the point where you've trained these people. You don't even have revenue yet. You're training people. You're open. Now maybe you have revenue. You want your revenue to outpace your expenses as quick as possible. When your revenue outpaces your expenses, you first achieve a profit. And the goal is profit. I talk often with my clientele about creating that profit path. So that is of top importance here, is getting to the point of profitability. An additional item, you get traction early by hiring the right people, by being there and being present, and create those early wins for the team and set the pace as the owner. It's amazing what phenomenal things begin to happen with your team. Number 7, be hyper involved in your local community. Hyper meaning focused on that community. So if you're opening an air conditioning brand, your whole 5-mile radius of where your office is, maybe even further, you really want to focus. What Little League team can I sponsor? What can I do with the local schools to let them know that I'm here in this town? There's a lot of things you can do to sponsor, to donate, whatever it might be, give away little tchotchkes, a keychain, a magnet. It's amazing. People think franchises are these enormous corporations, and they might. The mothership, the corporation, might be huge. But franchising is successful because you are the local franchise business owner that's focused on the local community, and you live in the local community until you get so big that you're growing in multiple cities. But at the start, normally speaking, my clientele is hyper local in a market they know like the back of their hand. Take advantage of that. Number 8, I'm running out of fingers here. Use the marketing tools provided by the franchisor and then amplify them. Basically, you want to use all the best practices of fellow successful franchise owners. If you just ask different franchise owners and your success coach, you're going to get some tips that maybe aren't in the manual, and that's the beautiful part. You're going to get little nuggets because marketing changes on a regular basis. Somebody could be super successful with Facebook ads, and then you find out they're successful on LinkedIn, or they might even be successful with creative TikTok stuff that they're doing. So stay close to your friends in the world of franchising, your fellow franchisees, of course, the marketing department. They're going to have great webinars and things to help you on a regular basis. Marketing is one of the most often discussed items when it comes to franchising, and to be successful with it, you have to also know your numbers and track everything going on. I know roofing brands that still do door knocking. Some people are against that, but it's nice to have somebody friendly knock on your door and say, hey, you ever need your roof fixed? I'm the guy for you. You can communicate. You seem nice. You seem friendly. You're dressed clean. It's something that people want from the customer service perspective. The overarching theme to everything we're talking about today with success tips, it's all about customer service and getting to know your customers. Number 9, stay coachable. I know, crazy concept, isn't it? But your ego is not your amigo. And there's a lot of people that when they get to a certain level and they start crushing their goals, it's okay to look at your success coach or your own team of employees and say, hey, how can I be a better boss to you guys? How do you think we're doing? Is there anything you think we can improve on? You might be shocked to find out you're going to get answers like, while I think we're pretty good, I have an idea. And you know what? If they help you implement an idea and they feel they created this concept, they're going to make sure it's rolled out and it's successful. and it's going to be a better company that you're going to own because of that. And you have a great employee that obviously cares. So you want to be coachable, and you want to be able to implement the playbook from the franchisor on marketing and everything else you've gotten. We were talking about marketing before, but it could be all of the systems and procedures, and you want to be coachable. Don't prejudge things when you're a brand new franchisee either. Remember the part about you're going to follow the system. It's another piece to this is trusting the process. So if you're going to be trusting a year into it, if you feel like you've exhausted all the systems and you feel like something's not working, that's when you look to members of, let's say, your Franchise Advisory Council. I was the president of the Franchise Advisory Council at Wingstop. We got to work hand in hand with corporate to make sure things were on track, that franchisees were concerned about, whether it's purchasing or marketing or new limited time offers, whether it's wings or flavors or whatever it might be. So in your franchise that you're going to be joining, these are some of the things you're going to think about, but stay coachable and stay approachable. Number 10, find your why and revisit it often. Now, I'm not a huge fan of your why. And the reason is when pretty much everybody comes to me, the why seems to be about the same. They want more time freedom to spend with their family, write their own schedule, have more control of their life. And then they're maybe tapped out on money, tapped out in that they've maxed out where they are. They can't get another raise. They can't get another promotion unless somebody passes on, or maybe the economy is not so great regarding where your company is and where its industry is. But the other part of it is maybe you didn't get the recent bonus, or you don't have as much vacation time as you thought they were going to be granting you. Whatever it might be, everybody's why sounds about the same. But the best part is, you know yourself in your heart of hearts, what is most important to you. So you have to consider when you join a franchise, and there's a system, and there's procedures, and there's a ton of people, what I call the mastermind effect in a great franchise, you have a lot of advantages to growing and scaling a business faster than doing it through an acquisition and getting into all that debt by getting into a business that somebody else created that maybe isn't a franchise. And God forbid those employees leave and you're all by yourself. In a franchise system, it's just like joining a family with all the support. So that why of yours, the reason that you want to join a franchise and the reason you want to have your own business, all of that becomes even more important. And you get to look in the mirror every morning and go, I'm really happy I did this. But even during the hard times, because it's not easy, otherwise everybody would do it. So you get to remember, even during the hard times, why it's most important to you. I hope you found value in this. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.
If you're ready to talk about franchise opportunities, hit the link below to schedule a call. My services are free, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for listening.